You talked about people who are Southern Cameroonian born, but not really Southern Cameroonian based on their actions. You call them La Republique extensions. Another example
Yes.
of such persons would be the Agbor Balla, who just received an award. And it's something we'd like you to react to. During his award, he pointed out a disturbing irony. The same week that efforts were underway to present a favorable view of the quote Cameroonian government, Agbor Balla, a figure known for promoting the government's image, that is the colonial government's image, received the award from the US human rights community. This, according to Commander Willie on ABC, it highlights a disconnect between the government's portrayal and the reality on the ground, looking at the fact that they gave Agbor Balla this Human Rights Award. Commander Willie criticized the lack of visibility for the true state of affairs in Ambazonia, saying that if the Ambazonian government had imposed a temporary lockdown during this period, it could have provided a clearer picture of the situation to the visiting human rights representative. He also lamented that ABC, the primary news outlet, would have to dedicate programs to regularly broadcast human rights abuses in Ambazonia as was previously planned. But now the focus on Agbor Balla, who received this award on human rights, a human rights award basically. We consider that to be quite ironic. But Mr. Vice President, you know who Mr. Agbor Balla is. Getting this reward, what would you remark about this be?
The thing is, like I said, he's doing La Republique's bidding. He has been like that from the onset. He's a lawyer, and this thing all started in 2016 when lawyers took to the streets because the La Republique had imposed they had a law on Southern Cameroon. We practice the common law just like any other English-speaking country in Africa. Even the United States practice the common law. Like in Britain, in Nigeria, Ghana, it's all common law. But they were trying to impose, they had a law which was basically more, how you call it again, like a Napoleonic law in the Southern Cameroons. And that's why the lawyers went out in protest. And then when they abused the lawyers, the university students started protesting. That's when they went into the University of Betrayal and started beating students and just dragging them in sewer and stuff like that. That's how this thing started. Agbor Balla was arrested together with a lot of other people who also were protesting and sent to prison. Then he was released, but the others were left in prison. So I think while he was there, they probably brainwashed him to come out and be a proxy for them. So La Republique keeps going out and recruiting people who speak English and call them Southern Cameroonians. These are proxies of La Republique that they are recruiting to help our own people, to help their own people. That is a war strategy. That's what if we had a way of recruiting, Cameroonian citizens right there in La Republique du Cameroon to cause havoc to them, I think we should do it. The reason is because La Republique over the years has done that. Look at what they are doing with the ADF. Look at what they are doing to some of our people in the diaspora. You have some people who call themselves leaders in this diaspora who are La Republique, who are Cameroon proxies. They work for the benefit of Cameroon. Like when we're sitting in Switzerland waiting for Cameroon to come and negotiate with us, a lot of some of the leaders who call them some of the people who call themselves leaders in this diaspora, what did they do? They kicked against the Swiss-led process, and then decided to bring themselves together to go and meet the Republic of Cameroon in Canada in the sham negotiation, that the so-called negotiation they had in Canada. You know what I mean? So their traitors are everywhere. They're not just down in Ambazonia. They are also, even in the diaspora, you have people who are betraying us every single day. People who are with us, eat with us, talk like us, but you know what? They're on the phone every day with La Republique. There are even people who are even selling our fighters for money to be killed. There are people in the diaspora who are doing things like that. So, it's a strategy that the oppressor uses. It's just like during slavery days. Do you know? You must know this. You know that in the plantations, the cotton plantations, the foreman, the one who beats the slaves to work from dawn to dusk, was never a white man. You know that, right? It was either a light-skinned black man who is most probably the son of the slave master, because the slave master will always abandon his wife and go into the slave quarters to sleep with black slaves. So they had a lot of mulatto children. So what they did was, during the slavery days, is that they will use another black person to be the foreman in all the farms where the slaves worked. So he will be the one torturing them and beating them to work harder from dawn to dusk. So it's a strategy that oppressors have used for a very long time. They recruit from among the oppressed. It's easier for them to do that. Because if they recruit, okay, look like this guy called My Country People. Them you've seen some videos, right? You know who I'm talking about? You've seen some videos coming from, some clips coming from some guy who calls himself My Country People. You've seen that, right?
Possibly.
Okay, that guy is actually of the Southern Cameroon extraction. But as far as I'm concerned, he is no longer an Amba. He is no longer a Southern Cameroonian. He has forfeited his citizenship because he is solely responsible for many, many of our soldiers' deaths. He contacts them, talks to them, then sets them up to be killed by La Republic. Then he celebrates their death. Somebody like that is no different from Agbor Balla. These are all internal traitors. Southern Cameroonians who have now been turned as agents of La Republic. Agbor Balla is no different. And Agbor Balla is not the only one. There are so many of them down there, and even here in the diaspora, who are agents of the government of Cameroon. There are even some of them, even in the refugee camps. They even send them in the refugee camps, you know what I mean, to betray the refugees, some of the refugees. Because one of their goals too is to have all the refugees go back so they can portray some semblance of normalcy, because that's what they are trying to tell the international community. There is no reason for us to meet these people on the negotiation table, because everything has returned to normal. So they are doing everything to coerce some of our refugees to go back home, so that they can now tell the international community that we have won the war, and there is no more crisis. Everything is well. The refugees are returning back home. You know what I mean? And things like that. So they have enablers all over the place. They hire people of Southern Cameroon's extraction to actually help them abuse our people. Yeah.